Hi everyone, Chanel Temple here. I'm so excited to share this video with you because I had the privilege of sitting down with Stephen Weiss. He is the CEO and founder of the Non-Human Rights Project, which is an organization that Hourglass has partnered with so many times and will continue to do so because our missions are so closely aligned. And you'll find out all about that in the video. I got to ask him everything I have been wanting to ask, and he is just such an amazing man and was so easy to talk with. So please keep on watching and let me know if you like these kinds of videos because I had so much fun making it. So hi, thank you for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
For those of you that don't know, Hourglass partners with the Non-Human Rights Project in many different ways. We first started working with them on our vegan leather clutch. 100% of the profits went to the Non-Human Rights Project. And I'll never forget Carissa coming in and talking about the documentary Unlocking the Cage, which you can all watch on HBO. I'll link it below in the comments section so you guys can have the opportunity to watch it. So first question is going to be, what is the Non-Human Rights Project? What do you do?
The Non-Human Rights Project is a civil rights organization, and the lawyers who make up a large part of the civil rights organization, of which I'm one, we bring lawsuits in which we try to persuade judges that non-human animals should no longer be things who lack the capacity for rights and should now be persons who have the capacity for rights, and then we argue that they should have certain kinds of fundamental rights like bodily liberty so that we can try to get them out of captivity.
So when you are in court and you are fighting for these non-human animals' rights, how are you proving this? What are you bringing forth to show that you know what you're talking about?
Well, I'm just a lawyer, so the judges don't care what I say about them. So what we do is that we identify the world's greatest experts, those experts who have spent their whole lives studying the animals. So, for example, Jane Goodall is not only a member of the board of the Non-Human Rights Project, but is one of our experts. And so she spent more than 50 years studying chimpanzees. So when we're suing on behalf of chimpanzees, trying to show that they're autonomous beings, Jane helps on doing that. I think we have 8 other experts from around the world, from Sweden and England and Germany and Japan, the United States, who all want chimpanzees to have rights. And what they do is that they tell the judge, what they've seen. All those years that they studied chimpanzees that show that they are autonomous beings, that show that they can choose how to live their lives. And they explain it in great detail, what kind of choices they see them make. And they also point out how extraordinarily intelligent they are. And if I can say, so far, our facts have been so good, no one has actually challenged a single fact to date. The biggest challenge that we have as lawyers is that judges, like so many other people in the world, intuitively feel that a person and a human are synonyms for each other, that all persons are humans and all humans are persons. And as a legal matter, that is completely wrong. But we have to sometimes remind them that corporations are persons, or cities are persons, or states are persons, or countries are persons.
Which I never thought about until I watched the documentary, because you were explaining a little bit about that, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, you absolutely call organizations and big, massive corporations are considered that.
Even when we get them to stop thinking about corporations, or start thinking about corporations or counties, something like that, being persons, and we start having them think about animals, either human animals or non-human animals, they still intuitively believe that humans and persons are synonyms, and we have to work really hard to try to get them to get that out of their mind and open their mind to the possibility that our non-human animal clients can also be persons.
Can you explain a little bit about what the criteria would be to be considered a person or personhood? And
an entity becomes a person when the folks in a jurisdiction or in a country who decide that they want it to be a person. There really isn't a single criterion. A person is somebody who counts in a legal system. So if you're not a person, you're essentially invisible to judges. If you are a person, you count in a fundamental way. And if you're not a person, if you're a thing, you simply don't count.
So there's obviously been numerous successes. What's been your most proud, successful moment? What's your biggest win?
When we started filing our lawsuits 5 years ago. So when we did that, we understood the obstacles we had to face. We understood that all non-human animals had been things since there were such a thing in Roman times, and that they had never been persons. So we began bringing those kinds of suits, habeas corpus suits, on behalf not of captive humans, but for the first time in history on behalf of captive non-humans. And so the first 3 times that we tried to get a judge to issue the writ of habeas corpus, the judges refused to do it. On the 4th time, for the first time in history, and that was in April of 2015, a judge issued a writ of habeas corpus on behalf of non-human animals, 2 chimpanzees, against Stony Brook University in New York. And I think that's probably one of the proudest moments we had, was that was the first time it's happened. And those 2 chimpanzees, Hercules and Leo, are now in a sanctuary in North Carolina. And then we just continue to try to get as many chimpanzees out of captivity as we possibly can. And we also have begun bringing lawsuits on behalf of elephants.
So are you trying to get human rights for animals, or?
We're not trying to get human rights for
Okay.
animals. Humans should have human rights. Chimpanzees should have chimpanzee rights, and elephants should have elephant rights, and orcas should have orca rights. Because chimpanzees and elephants and orcas and humans, we're not the same.
Right.
We have different kinds of fundamental interests that rights need to protect. And so the fight never ends. You always have to keep fighting, because there are always more infringements upon human rights, or you want to expand human rights. We're trying to do the exact same thing, and we rely upon science to tell us who all the various species of non-human animals are, and which ones ought to have rights under which kinds of legal theories.
So I have another question for you. So for people that are watching the video and interested, how can they help, or how can they get involved?
You can help us by going to our website, www.nonhumanrights.org. And there you can sign up to get our email alerts so that you can follow everything we do, and we do a lot, so you'll be very busy. You can donate, and by donating, that allows us to hire more lawyers so that we can bring more cases, so that more non-human animals get more rights. And you can also follow us on social media, and you participate by spreading the word as well on your social media.
I love your guys' Instagram. I feel very in the know from the gram. So I'll plug all of that in the comments below so you guys can follow along. I have a really important question I have to ask you now, though. This is my number 1 question here. What is your favorite animal? And why?
That is a very hard question.
The hard-hitting questions for you.
I think if I had to give, other than my own dog, Yogi, my favorite non-human animal, I think as a species, are probably elephants.
It's a good animal to like, though, elephants. I think my favorite's a giraffe. Thank you so much for taking the time and explaining all of that. I feel like people are going to get such a better understanding. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. As you can see, Steve's incredible. I could have talked to that man for hours, but I hope you got a better understanding about the Non-Human Rights Project and why Hourglass wanted to partner with them. Below in the bio, I'll put all the information so you can follow along and see how you can get involved as well. So thank you again, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.